2 easy steps to open-ended questions. Where do we start?
So let's broaden our definition of open-ended questions because you can ask an open-ended question, but is it a powerful open-ended question? So, 2 easy steps to ask powerful open-ended questions to others. I would say step 1 is to ensure that first and foremost, this question is an honest question. Michelle, do you want to talk a little bit about honest questions?
Sure. I think the word honest means, are you actually curious about this thing? Do you actually feel like, I don't know the answer to this question, so I'm going to ask? Versus what I think a lot of questions actually are. I know even for me, I'm guilty of this. I'm trying to prove a point or make a statement with my question. It's like, I think I know the answer to this question. And if I craft my question in this way, I'll make you see my point. That is not an honest question. So I think first sinking into, what is it I really don't know? You know, there's a sense of openness there. What is it I'm opening myself up to learning here? I think that's the heart of where a good question should come from.
Yeah. If you're asking a question and you've already got preconceived notions in your mind, you've made up a story about what this person is telling you, or you think you know the right way or the answer or the solution, you've actually stopped fully listening to them. You've stopped authentically, purely listening to them, and your questions aren't going to come out honestly. They're going to come out with a motive or leading someone in a particular direction. So the moment we feel attached to the question or the answer that the person in front of us is going to give, it becomes dishonest. So a really great coaching tool is to check in with yourself and honestly ask yourself, what am I truly curious about? If I was going to look at this person in front of me as whole, capable, resourceful, and creative, I am not here to fix or solution or solve their problem. And I believe that this person is as unique as a thumbprint, even if what they're telling me feels similar to life experiences I've had or things that I've been through. This person and their life, the way that they're experiencing the situation, experiencing their life, is wildly different than me. So if I can hold that person in that light, in that frame of mind, and lean back into a curious, we call it a curious coaching posture, where I'm just really curious about this unique person in front of me. And I'm going to ask a question that I don't know the answer to. And I'm not spinning my wheels thinking about what I'm going to say next or thinking about the point I want to make or the direction I think they need to go inside of. All of those things are clouding my ability to ask a truly honest question. And when we ask honest questions to people, they can feel that, whether they know it or not. You can feel when someone's truly listening to you, when someone's asking you something and like honoring the truth inside of you rather than taking on a stance where I think I know the answers to your problem. I'm going to position my questions in a way so that it feels like you're coming up with the solution, but really I've led you there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, in order for it to be an honest question, you have to be connected to the part of you that believes there's really something here, perhaps for me to learn about this person, about how they're feeling, about whatever I'm asking about. And so until you find and can connect to that curiosity or the part of yourself that humbly says, I'm listening, I am open to hearing something I don't know, just pause until you can get there, you know?
Yeah, literally lean back. When I'm in a mindset where my mind is trying to solution, or if I think I know the answers to this person's problem, or if I want them to see a certain perspective that I see that they don't see, everything about me and my energy is leaned forward and not leaned forward in the good way, like leaned forward in a almost a gripping way, almost like a tense way. Like I really want them to see this point, or I really want them to see this thing. When I'm in a curious coaching posture, I'm actually leaned back, arms open, heart open, ears open, mind open, and you catch things, you hear things so much differently in that posture.
Mm-hmm.
So that's step one, checking in with yourself to ensure that the question you want to ask is truly honest.
Yeah.
Step two is actually in the positioning of your question.
Yeah.
So often our questions are there. The honest question is there. It's just about taking our question and repositioning it so that it's asked in an open-ended way. So closed-ended questions can be answered with yes or no. Do you have another option? You could say, no, there's no other option here. Versus taking the heart of that question and just simply repositioning it so that the person receiving the question cannot answer yes or no. So, what other options are there? That question invites you to go deeper inside of yourself to consider what other options are there. A closed ended question shuts the door down, or could have the possibility of shutting the door down to any further exploration.
Mm-hmm. Yes or no questions, the possibility of response is so small. It's yes or no. Same with questions that you give people options. Is it A or B? Do you want to go to the park or to the store? It's like the responses are so limited. And an open-ended question, what it does is opens up the spectrum of possibility. So the possible responses are actually unlimited. The person you're asking the question to can answer in any way possible, which leaves that room for all of the things you don't know. If you are going to be open to hearing something you don't actually know, then you have to leave the possibilities as wide as possible for someone to answer. How would you suggest to begin positioning this open-ended question that makes room for maximum amount of possibility?
So, this is a new skill to try on. One tip is to actually have the beginning words of an open ended question: who, what, where, when, why. Those are all really beautiful beginning words to reposition open questions. But a tip is to actually have those words. If you do a lot of work on your computer, have it as a sticky note on your computer. If you do a lot of work one on one with people, have it as a sticky note in your agenda or your workbook. And when you're thinking of the question, like often the heart of the question is there. It's just about, as I'm rewiring my brain to ask open ended, powerful questions, how do I reposition this question to start with when, where, what, how, why? That's a really helpful tip.
Mm-hmm. I know this is supposed to be two easy steps, but can I add like a bonus step?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm thinking about there's some places where accessing the clarity to ask a powerful, open-ended, honest question, it's very easy. Practice it, I'm good. And there's some other areas in my life where I find it a little more challenging because maybe emotions run higher or I'm more agitated. That's with my kids. I slip out of this more than I would like to admit. So there's this little bonus step of like, I've caught myself being really curious and phrasing my question in an open ended way, but my energy is incredibly aggressive. My energy isn't inviting. It's like I walk into a room, I just helped my daughter clean, and I walk in, and although there's like this beautiful new laundry hamper that I just bought and put in the corner for her, all of her clothes are on the floor. And so I walk in with, why are you throwing all your clothes on the floor? I'm desperately curious. And I
So it's
phrased it,
honest.
yeah, I phrased it properly, but my energy isn't such that I'm probably giving her the best chance to want to vulnerably reflect and answer me, right? I'm creating an environment where she's like, "Ugh," she's on the defense of my question. And so I think there is a little step there to make these open ended, honest questions received well. Check the energy. Like, are you giving off an energy where that person feels really safe to give you an honest response and like feels that if they're honest, they're not going to be judged? I think that's an important piece too.
Questions beginning with why can actually be tricky, especially when we're in an energy like that. Why questions can sometimes be received as an interrogation rather than a true curiosity. So I love this invitation to check your energy. Are you feeling curious? Are you feeling open? Is your energy going to invite the truth of that individual in front of you, whether it is your child, a colleague, a friend, a family member, a stranger? Is your energy going to invite their truth or their perspective to emerge in the conversation with you?
Yeah. You've been practicing open-ended, honest questions for so long. And like you've said, it becomes easier and easier as you practice rephrasing, crafting, getting in the right energy of asking a question. Is there anywhere in your life where you still sometimes go, oh, I need to anchor back into like the basics of powerful question, open-ended question asking?
So, no one particular area is coming to mind, except that in every area of my life, when I'm feeling activated or triggered inside, it is really hard for me to ask open ended questions in all the areas of my life. So, I think that in truth, in order for me to access a place where I can really truly lean back in that curious coaching posture, look at someone as whole, capable, resourceful, and creative, recognize I'm not here to fix, solve, solution their problems, and be in that energy to be able to access truly honest, open ended questions, I have to be in a good space inside of myself. And that needs to come first before I can be truly curious with another human.
Yeah.